Hey everyone, really fascinating discussion today around simplifying authentication and security and management for SaaS companies with a really hot and innovative startup in the space at FrontEgg. Aviad and Miriam, how are you?
Good, Ivan. Thank you for having us.
Well, thanks
Great.
for being here. And I think I'm going to enjoy this conversation on the heels of the RSA conference. Lots to talk about. Before that, we'll do some quick introductions. First, Miriam, a resident Gen Z expert here
That's
on the show. Maybe introduce yourself and your role at FrontEgg.
So I'm Miriam. I'm tech support engineer here in FrontEgg, and also I'm a student for data science.
Fantastic. Well done. And Aviad as well. Nice to see you again. We saw you at RSA. Introduce yourself for the folks.
Yeah, thank you, Ivan. It was one hectic RSA. I'm Aviad. I'm the CTO and co-founder of FrontEgg. Hopefully, Miriam will graduate soon and have data science, expertise with the team as well.
Fantastic. And you have a really interesting background, Aviad, as well. Maybe introduce your career journey to FrontEgg and the big idea behind the company.
Yeah, so FrontEgg was founded 5.5 years ago by Sagi and myself. Sagi is my co-founder, the CEO of the company. We had a privilege of building the SaaS infrastructure and actually the SIAM of SaaS in Checkpoint. I've been a coder by heart, coding since the age of 15, professionally since the age of 20. And I always kind of went on the bridge between building products and building identity infrastructure for every product that I would build. And then eventually, both Sagi and myself said, enough is enough. We should help developers unlock their innovation and kick off security for them, the challenges around security. As SaaS grew, were tremendous. And we said we want to make sure that no developers makes any error building SaaS. And we're going to be the infrastructure for identity for that. So hence came FrontEgg, 5.5 years old, and we are excited for this journey.
It is quite a journey, and you've been working on user experience for many years. Your main message, I think, is balancing convenience versus security. Tell us more about that topic.
Yeah, I think, and that's probably going to be a topic that we're going to cover more and more in this conversation. But yeah, security should be easy because we want people to adopt security in a way that is convenient for them. Otherwise, if it's too hard, they won't adopt it, and it's a lose-lose situation. So on one hand, we want to make it easy for the developers to implement security. So that's one hand, because we don't want them to think about security. We want them just to implement very easily security into their product. And then comes the other hand, which is their users, right? They are building products, and these products have users. They want to make it very easy for the users of the product to consume security and to configure security. And everything should be much easier than it used to be a few years ago. When we built in Checkpoint, we built security infrastructures. We understood how this world of security is kind of lagging in terms of user experience. And that's mainly, our mission to the world, to make security easier to consume and to have security adoption and much higher in SaaS products and in the AI era as well.
That's something we can all get behind. And you and your team recently conducted a study that was headlined, "Americans Hate Password Resets So Much They'd Rather Abandon Your App." That's quite a headline. What was the finding there?
Yeah, that was one heck of a crazy one. We found out that 49% of consumer actually left a purchase. You get to the point where you want to click a button, I want to buy that, and the e-commerce site will ask you, okay, what is your password? If you don't remember the password, 49% that you will abandon the purchase, and that's crazy because these are 49% of buyers that actually leave their money behind, and And it's pretty crazy, because forget password flows are so tedious, and they consume so many points in the way that it's actually crazy when you kind of tie it together with loss of revenue. Then it's really painful.
Yeah, that's kind of shocking to read. And your study actually caught the attention of Forbes, who added that 72% of Gen Z was skeptical about AI security, among other topics. So rather than guessing about that, we thought we'd invite Miriam to talk about the Gen Z perspective on, technology, AI, and security in particular. Tell us about your perspective and your colleagues and friends and peers. What are they telling you about this latest generation of tech and SaaS and beyond?
So basically, I believe that a technology is not something that was introduced to us. It was always there, starting from early iPads to logging into our Google Classrooms during Corona, logging and taking our online classes in Zoom. Tech was actually baked into our social lives, in our careers. So I do believe that we also strongly value personalization, speed, and seamless experience. We want experience to be effortless. And on the other hand, we witnessed a lot of issues that come with technologies, massive data breaches. Our beloved ones fall victim of phishing attacks, and people lose money. It's also really, really bad and sad, and we do not want this to happen again. But we understand that AI is something innovative. This is something new. We do not what comes with AI. But we do know for a fact that new vulnerabilities will be introduced to us, that new 0 days exploits will be encountered. And this is basically the main reason for the healthy dose of skepticism that we have towards it.
Yeah, that's a great point. And, Aviad, you and I were not born digital. We were born in an area of fax machines and modems. And
Correct.
I don't know, Aviad, do you remember your first computer, your first piece of
I
technology?
do. It was an Intel 865 or 365, something like that. Yeah, it was. I was 16. I'm 43 now, so that was quite a while ago. I was so
Yeah.
excited, by the way. Yeah, but I don't remember entering any password to log into my computer, by the way.
And I'm guessing Miriam's first piece of technology was a mobile or a laptop or
Probably a MacBook. Yeah.
an iPad.
It was iPad 3.
Of course.
And I
So
was playing the games there, and I had to remember my iCloud ID and all of these things. So
yes, and fast forward to today, we have this incredible AI boom. So exciting, and AI is really infiltrating every aspect of our technology, Aviad, especially in the business world. What's your perspective on that tsunami of AI use cases? What does it mean for us as enterprises and business people?
I'll piggyback on what Miriam just said. AI world is that's like a new era. It's like a new revolution of technology, right? I mean, and then with that speed of revolution and this rapid development of revolution, obviously comes business threats and security threats. And we talk about Face ID, right? We say these Gen Z guys, that used to open we all have iPhones. We open our iPhones with our face, and that's okay. But then comes, headlines about deep fakes and deep fakers, and then everything is in question now. You're kind of unsure of everything. Is this real? I mean, I used, up until 2 years ago, everything was you kind of knew what security threats are. But now in the world of AI, is this user, we had bot detection mechanisms. Now AI can bypass bots detection engines quite easily. And now comes the question, what can we trust and how can we trust and how can we add more and more layers if first layer fails, second layer fails, third layer fails. Will the fourth layer be the one that catches it? So that's very challenging. And as your protection becomes stronger, your attackers become stronger, and everything, because everything is so rapid. So it's kind of a cat and a mouse kind of game, and you chase around security, because up until 2 years ago, before kind of the AI revolution, cycles were much longer. Now cycles are like 3 days to 4 days, where new vulnerability will be presented and introduced, and you kind of go around that. The cycles are much faster.
Yeah, a day is feels like a month now in the AI world. And
Yeah.
and Miriam, you're in technical support, so I assume that means supporting your SaaS customers and implementing FrontEgg and supporting FrontEgg. But how does working with AI change the way you approach your job and your day-to-day work in tech support or otherwise?
Anyways, I can tell that AI is a game changer, and it enhanced actually my workflows. It optimized my workflows. Also, all the things that considering troubleshooting, information gathering becomes faster. And these 10, 15 minutes may be critical for some production issues. They can be really impactful, and they can impact businesses. And if we can save this time, we're going to do that. AI is definitely our to-go assistant.
Yes, it's your co-pilot, always there, always supportive. And I assume you have the same perspective, Aviad. What will it take to get your customers, also Gen Z, comfortable with AI security? And what are you doing with the whole AI security approach at FrontEgg? What's the big idea there from a product or go-to-market?
Yes, first of all, we introduced several agents to protect our customers' infrastructure with autonomous AI agents. Everything becomes much more thorough with the agents era. I would say that the Gen Z is really hard to crack, and then we are taking aim at that with kind of going back to the basics with the way that they used to consume security. They're used to Face ID, we'll implement Face ID. They're used to do passkeys, we'll implement passkeys. Even with passwords, we kind of, strive to make them adopt to 6 digits code sent to their email rather than inputting a password that they will for sure use in 70% of the cases. So we try, for one hand, to make it easier on the UX perspective, and for another hand, we try to make it kind of just, to justify why we are doing that, because, these guys are smart, and we kind of want to explain why it's better for them to use that approach rather than the other one. And obviously, in the way that we are incorporating AI, adaptive MFA, passkeys, biometrics, everything is changed. So we are incorporating AI pretty much in any technology that we ship. And that becomes a really game changer for us, in terms of rapid development, and in terms of rapid even product development around the company as well.
Wow, that's fantastic. And Miriam, I imagine AI at some point could provide tier 1, tier 2 tech support to customers, and maybe even one day full tier 4 engineering support. Are you worried about AI stealing your job or your work?
Hopefully not. I think that AI is definitely really powerful tool. It can help us with the troubleshooting. It helps us with gathering information, with querying, with communicating to our customers. But there are things that cannot be taken from us. It's our humanity. People just want to talk to people. They do not want to talk to AI by the end of the day. And I think that they still need us to feel this emotional support.
Yeah, it's funny how in spite of all the support channels, speaking with an agent, speaking with someone is still the preferred channel. Pressing 0 to get through the bot is still the preferred mode. And I don't think that's going to change. People, in mission critical use cases like yours still want the human touch. So Aviad, just to wrap things up, you had a fantastic RSA conference. What's next for you the rest of the year? What are you excited about, looking forward to?
So obviously, the AI era is not something that we're going to leave behind. So we just introduced our own AI agents identity infrastructure.
Wow.
We're going to make it much deeper. We just introduced our first AI agent security for SIAM, autonomous agent that is protecting both SaaS and non-human identities. So that's really exciting for us. We're going to make it much deeper and much more powerful. And obviously, keep our innovative approach around SIAM, customer identity and access management, helping our customers within every vector and every industry to protect their customers and to kind of unleash innovation by providing their developers, their security teams, their entire company a much better secured way of launching products.
Wow. Well, that's a mic drop moment. Very exciting. You're already helping hundreds of SaaS companies, power their services, and sounds like you have thousands more to help ahead of you. So congratulations. Thanks so much for joining, guys. Have a great week, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you, Ivan. Thank you, Miriam.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank you.